How long is a piece of string? Because that's really what good consultation is down to. It takes as long as it takes. But unfortunately, for many Aboriginal people, even though they should be in many of these issues, whether it's issues around land or development or new legislation from government or anything else like that, they should be seen as some of the main stakeholders, especially in relation to their land and their resources. Unfortunately, they're left out to the end. Even the Lands Council will talk with mining companies for months. How many meetings they've had, we don't know. But we know there'll be a number of meetings with them. And they'll be working on a particular application or a particular project, and they'll get that all together, and then they'll do a quick trip out to the community, out to where those particular landowners or estate, Yiralkawatanga, we call them, the estate owners exist, who they think should be involved in the conversation. And usually those meetings will be very short. How many landowners have told me that they're absolutely disgusted with the process where they're told within the hour that they'll have to decide? They haven't even got time to think about it. They haven't even got time to ask questions of other relatives who are connected to that land that they should be talking to. They are told that they have to make the decision that morning. In most cases, that is done without interpreters, in this belief that because people live on the mainland of Australia and the boat language that turned up here 200 years ago, English, is now spoken by everyone, that the original Australian languages don't exist anymore. Well, that's not true. How long should consultation take? It should take as long as it takes. I remember going home to central New South Wales back in the 80s when I was carried out on a stretcher. And I lived in that community, and I lived in one of the houses in the main street of that community where they discussed whether the main street should be heritage listed or not. So the discussion was around whether the main street and one of the houses I was living in would be heritage listed or not. You know how long that took? That consultation took, mainstream, all in English, no cross-cultural issues or anything else. It took 10 years. 10 years. And yet we expect Aboriginal people dealing with the resources and around their lands, the wrong decisions that are going to cause trouble between family groups for decades to come. We expect them to make decisions in a matter of hours in a foreign language, the boat language, English. It's just not on, it's just not right. The United Nations Rights of the Indigenous People says very clearly, and Australia is a signatory to it, that before legislation that's going to affect the people, that legislation should be fully communicated to the people, and people have a chance to feed back their concerns about it and so on. You ask many Aboriginal people, when did they find out that it was illegal not to have seatbelts? When did they find out? They found out when they were booked for not having a seatbelt on. When did they find out that babies had to be in special baby seats and so forth, capsules? When they got booked for it. Now, I know in mainstream there was a seatbelt campaign that went on for years when I was a young kid. Click, clack, front and back. Seatbelts save life. There's been no such campaign for Aboriginal people in their language across the Northern Territory. I've made one up for Yolngu, but I can't get anybody to take it up. And this is where we fail around basic communication. So consultation needs to take as long as it needs to take. Otherwise, you will create a situation where you further alienate people, further get them offside from the mainstream, create more legal kickback, or kickback which is happening from young Aboriginal children now, and just fill up the jails more. Well, it doesn't fill up the schools or the university, it just fills up more jails. Get communication right, and things right across the board might come right. So consultation needs to take as long as consultation takes. That's my take on it.